Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial by Zebra Code. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to do string tokenization in C++. What is text or what is string tokenization? Well, tokenization is the process whereby we break a block of text or a sentence or even sentences in a file into individual words or characters. In the process, we use some delimiters which we can specify. In the process, the block of text which it is scanning for tokenization may be a sentence or an input file which is full of text. The delimiter can be a space, comma, or something else that we specify. In other words, we can use spaces, commas, hyphens, full stops, or other characters for our delimiters. We will see that in the process of this video. String tokenization can be done in C or in C++ programming language. We can do this in C++ by using the CString library. It has a function, the strtok function, that we can use. The strtok function is a part of the CString library. This is the syntax for string tokenization in C or C++. The function strtok takes a char as a string and it takes some delimiters. Here are some parameters that we can use in the process. The main parameters involved in the process are string or str, which is the string to work with, the delimiters, that is, the rules or characters to observe for breaking the block of text. For example, this function here, strtok, takes a string, and the delimiters here now are in quotes. Because they are string, it is in quotes. Here we have a space, dot, hyphen, and forward slash. So these are the delimiters that we have specified now as part of our tokenization. Then the return value. In the process of scanning the text or sentence, if a token is identified, the pointer goes to the beginning of the token. If not, then it becomes a null pointer. When it gets to the end of the string that it is scanning, a null pointer is returned. We will see that in a minute. I am going to be using the Qt IDE as my text editor. However, you can use any IDE as your text editor for this tutorial. Now, I have my IDE open. I have created a project already and I named it CPP String Tokenizer. It is a normal C++ project. You can name yours whatever you are happy with. Now, I'm going to enter some code. Include IOString, include CString using std cout using std endline int main return 0 semicolon. Now I will create a string of data type char and it will be an array of characters. Char str. Now I will enter some characters, that is some string. This could also be a path to a file. I'm not going to talk about that for now. Let's just enter some text here. It is char string as array of characters, introduction to artificial intelligence and LLMs, a new field, retry. I will explain this in a minute, why it is like that. Char should be a pointer. Now pointer equals ptr equals strtok, and here now it shows the syntax that we need, which we saw earlier in the previous slide. Now the string will be this one here, str, comma, double quote, double quote. Now this is where we specify the delimiters, which is this one here. So in this case, to tokenize this sentence, I am going to use space, colon, dot, hyphen. So these are the delimiters now that I have specified to be used for the tokenization of this sentence. Enter. Now I will use a while loop to go through it. While pointer is not equals null, cout what? Cout pointer, end line. Here again, we need to specifically say pointer equals strtok null, comma, double quotes, colon, dot, hyphen. Just exactly the way we specified it here, we are also specifying it here, except we are using the null here now instead of string as we used here. Now we can save, build, and run our code. First, we're going to build it. Great. Build was successful. It was built successfully. Now let's run it. Great. Exactly. Here now we have introduction to artificial intelligence and LLMs. Open bracket, closing bracket, a new field, array, try. What is happening here is easy to understand. If you look at the string, let me move this one down a little bit. The string is introduction to artificial intelligence and LLMs, colon, open bracket, closing bracket, a new field, dot, array, hyphen, try. Now we've tokenized it with these delimiters, space, we have spaces here, then colon, dot, which is here, and a hyphen. So it breaks this sentence down into individual words based on the delimiters that we have specified here. We also have this opening and closing bracket here. Now let's close this one and add extra delimiters to it. Opening and closing bracket, opening and closing bracket. So now let's run it again. Exactly. Now we have introduction to artificial intelligence and LLMs, a new field, array, try. The opening and closing brackets are not there anymore. They have been removed because we've now added them as part of our delimiters. And each word now is a token. Now we have each word as a token. Let's do another example so that we will understand it better. I'm going to close this one for now. I will leave a comment here. Example 1. Now I'm going to comment this one out. We'll leave another comment here. Example 2. For this one, I will enter some more code. Again, include IO stream, include IO stream, include C string, if you are not using a C string, you could do something like string.h if you are doing it for C, or you just want to use the string.h header file. But for now, I will leave it as C string. C string. Okay, one more header file. Include vector, because we will be using the vector in this second example. Into main, return 0 using std : cout, using std : end line, using std : vector. Now let's create a variable of our data source. It's going to be of data type char. I'll call it input source. This can also be a path to an external file, but in this case, I will just enter some text as a string. See here, I so much love computer programming, full stop, especially C and C++ programming languages. So the string here now is, I so much love computer programming, especially C and C++ programming languages. Now char pointer equals string tokenization or strtok. We are using the strtok function here. Again, it's showing this syntax that we need to follow. So in this case, it will be input source, comma, space, dot. So the delimiters we are using here now are space and dot. I think I should add some comments here. Now to create a vector here of type char. I will name it text, tst, vector, we will do a while loop over the vector container while ptr is not equals null pointer, then that will be tst dot pushback what? Pushback pointer, which is this one here. ptr equals strtok null ptr null pointer, comma, double quotes, space, dot, just like the way we have it here. semicolon. Now we need to output it to the console. That is, we've got to print it out to the console. Let's leave a comment here. Output the container to the console with a for loop. In other words, we will do a for loop here. For, and I will use the auto keyword. For auto I equals 0, semicolon. I is less than tst dot size I plus plus. C out tst I end line. And we can also count how many tokens we have in our file or in our string. To do that, we comment here, count the tokens, the string or input source. C out the text or file contains, and that will be tst dot size. End line. Now let's save it. So what we have here is easy to understand. I will explain it in a minute, but before then, now let's build it and run it. There is a warning message here, but let's ignore that. Now let's run it. Great, it was run successfully. It says here now, the test file contains 12 tokens. And if you count them, they will actually be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 tokens in that sentence. Let's move this one down a bit. Let's minimize this one first. So now our input source or our string contains 12 tokens when it is tokenized. So everything is broken down into individual word, and we have 12 tokens. But let's look at it here to see how it was done. If you look at it here now, in our strtok function, we use space and a dot to tokenize our string, that is our sentence. We have some spaces here and we have a dot here, which is fine. Let's do something a bit different here. I'll close this one. Instead of using a space and dot, this time let's use just dot. We'll remove the space here. So it is just a dot. Our delimiter now is just a dot. Let's save it and run it again. Great. Now we have just 2 tokens. And what does that mean? What that means is each sentence now is classified as a token. We have 2 sentences here and our delimiter is a dot. So we are not using spaces because we are using just a dot. It has now split the whole token into 2 sentences. I so much love computer programming, which is this one here. I so much love computer programming. Then the next sentence is especially C and C++ programming languages. So it depends on the task at hand. If you want to break a string or a sentence into individual words, you can use the first method, spaces and different delimiters or different characters. But if you want to break it down into sentences, you can use this approach. It could be a dot, a question mark, or some other characters. But one thing is obvious here now. Each sentence does not contain a full stop at the end of it. We can use a different method for that. Let's close this one. Now, if I add a hyphen here and change our delimiter to a hyphen instead of a full stop, now let's run our code again. Great. Now we have two sentences and each sentence ends with a full stop. So our delimiter now is a hyphen. That is why we are getting the full stop at the end of each sentence. So let's close this one. And now let's look at our code in depth to know exactly what is happening here. We split the string into tokens with the strtok function, which is a part of the C string library. The process involves a sequence of calls to a function like split string into tokens. The string of text, which is this one here, is usually a sequence of characters, and they are separated by any of the specified characters that are part of the delimiters, for example here. So how does it work? When the strtok function makes its first call, the function expects a C string as an argument for str or for input source, and it uses the first character as the starting location. And the starting character here now is I. It uses the first character as the starting location to scan for tokens. As it makes additional calls, the function expects a null pointer. We use that one here just now. And it uses the position right after the end of the last token as its new starting location for test scanning. And one important point is, for it to determine the beginning and end of a token, the function will first scan from the starting location for the first character that is not contained in the delimiter or delimiters. In other words, which now becomes the beginning of the token. Following that, the scan starts from the beginning of the token for the first character that is contained in the delimiters, which will now become the end of the token. One other important fact is scanning also stops if the terminating null pointer is located. And with this, the end of the token is immediately replaced by a null character, and the beginning of the token is returned by the function as it applies. So this is how you use the string tokenization function or the strtok in the C string library in C or in C++. I hope you learned something from this video. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye for now.